Welcome to West Country Tech Time. This is video number 1, loss of internet connection. Here we have the two 4G EE routers we install. They're very simple. 99% of our installations will have an external antenna connected to them. On this router, they'll be screwed into these two connections here. And on this router, they'll be screwed into these two ports here. The first thing to check if you have a loss of connection or a drop in speed is to make sure both those screw terminals are actually screwed in tightly. The next thing to check is the obvious things, a visual inspection of the front of the router. So in this one here, you've got the on button connected to the internet, Wi-Fi and connection strength. So in this instance, if this router is on, this light will be lit. And if it's in a boot up stage, it will just be this one. And then once it's on and connected, all 4 will be connected. So if you're experiencing a loss of Wi-Fi connection, so for instance, if the router is on and your phone, tablet, laptop can't see the Wi-Fi connection, just see if this light is lit here. If it's not, then that would say that we've got a Wi-Fi issue from the router, and that is something we can solve. The next thing, if you've got if your phone or tablet or laptop is connected to the Wi-Fi but there's no internet connection, then it's going to be these lights here. This one will say whether or not the router is actually connected to the internet, and this one here is going to show signal strength. So for instance, if you know full well that your router normally runs on 2, 3 or 4 lights and there's now no lights, then we know it's going to be a signal strength issue, and then that loops back to the original point of whether or not the antenna is screwed in. Or if you have a visual inspection outside of the house to make sure the antenna is still attached to the pole. As of yet, we've never had an antenna fall off a pole, but it's worth having a quick look. So if these lights are in fact not lit, then it would say that there is a problem with either the router, but more than likely an EE mast. So on the outside of the property, there will be the antenna. The antenna will be facing in a specific direction. That will be connected to a specific mast, an EE cellular mast. If there's an issue with that mast, then it'll either connect and there'll be no internet, or it just simply won't connect to it. And that will be determined from these signal lights here. So if those lights are off, then we've obviously got a signal strength issue or a mast issue. Now the quick way of checking for yourself if the EE network is down, there is actually a website you can go to. On here, this is called the EE Coverage and Network Status Checker page, or the web address is coverage.ee.co.uk/coverage/EE. Or if you just go into Google and type in EE Network Status Checker, it normally just comes up with a web page. On this web page, if you scroll down, you've then got the ability to put in your postcode and your mobile device. You need to be obviously very specific with your postcode, but with this one you can be a little bit vague. It does bring down a few options, but in this case, if you type in, if I do this in real time, so we've got EX151BS, if I type it right, and that's our postcode there. And if we now go onto the device and type in router, it's already bringing up a selection of routers here. So if we just go on the top one there, EE 4G router, it doesn't have to be too specific here. The main reason we're doing this is to see if there is an issue with the mast, and depending on what device you've got, if there's a problem with the mast, it's just going to come up with there's a problem. So you've got check coverage and check status. This one's self-explanatory. This will just tell you whether or not you've got a 4G connection in the area, but we already know you have because you've had it installed. The next one there, check status, if we click that, that is then going to bring up this page here, and straight away, this is our postcode for the office. You can see here, no known problems. So that's a very quick thing you can do to check to see if there is a significant problem in the area. If the mast is down, it will say there are issues in your area. If there's a recent fix, it will say a problem has been resolved recently. So that is a quick way to see if there's a problem in the area. Obviously, if you do that and it says it's fine and you've lost signal lights, then a quick call to us and we'll be able to quickly determine if there's something else going on behind the scenes. On this router, slightly different. With the lights, it doesn't have like a gauge of lights here, so this one's got 4 depending on your signal strength. Oh, and by the way, on that, you don't always have to have 4 lights to have the best signal. We've got, some of our sites have got very fast speeds and they've got 1 or 2 bars. So that's just a signal strength. The main thing to watch out for on that is, are there any signal lights or is there none? On this one, and this is a better explanation of it, this one's just got the on internet connection and there's a little envelope there, but the main one is the signal strength light. So if that light is lit, you're obviously good, it means it's connecting. If the internet light's on, it means it's got connection to the internet, and then the on button. If this light is off or red, then we know there's a problem with that. This is a much simpler router, there's only 2 Ethernet ports on the back. But those are the main things to look out for. And obviously the go-to thing to do would be to turn the router off and back on again. 9 times out of 10, when someone phones up, there's just been a blip in the network, the router's had a bit of a funny moment. Quick pull of the power lead. On this one, there's a power lead on the back there. On this one, the power lead's on the left-hand side. Just pull it out, give it 10 seconds, back in again, and that'll give the system a full refresh.